que ahora no aparece. ¡Qué buena oportunidad! ¡Leo Messi!
So we're in Cologne for Gamescom, and we're gearing up for another season of FIFA. Obviously, what would you say are the main big features that you're bringing in this year?
Well, I mean, obviously the first thing for us and the focus every year is to make sure that the gameplay is amazing and a big leap forward from FIFA 12. And I think this year we're really excited about what we're doing in those areas. Key for us is really building on what we did last year with the player impact engine, created these, physics around collisions, gave sort of limitless variety of outcomes around collisions themselves. We're really developing that piece of technology into creating lots of features around that, and now we have the ability to have physics both on and off the ball. And what we've got this year, it's working really well in the game right now, is the ability just to start battling for possession to try and get the ball. It's just creating this great new sort of jostling feel within our game. And then the other side was what we did with tactical defending this year was it really gave you a lot more, in 12, gave you a lot more time on the ball. So, but at times the game could feel sometimes a little bit static. And one of the biggest sort of asks from the community was we want to see much more runs, we want to see the attacking AI really change and improve within our game. So we've completely reworked from what we're calling attacking intelligence. So a lot more runs off the ball, you get time on the ball, you can look up, there's players supporting you from midfield, there's wingers overlapping, you can switch to play, players trying to run in behind, a lot more fluidity and a lot more options in attack. And then combined with that, we've got what we believe is one of the biggest changes we've ever made in FIFA is first touch control. In previous FIFA games, at times the touch would feel very perfect, feel like the ball was very much stuck to your foot. What we've created now is a system that looks at where the pass is coming from, the distance, the speed. It looks at the quality of the player that's receiving the pass. And what it does is create separation from the player and the ball. It's not in any way random. It makes the game more unpredictable, but predictably unpredictable. And it's creating this sense of separation, which when I talked about sort of the push-pull mechanics, you can now get your body between the player and the ball, and more seal out players. And what it's doing is creating a game that's way more realistic. There's a lot more different opportunities, and it's creating this really emergent gameplay. And then finally, we were doing a lot of work around the dribbling system. We did precision dribbling last year. We got complete dribbling this year, where biggest change is where I can face up the defender. Previously, it was actually completely change your facing angle, which meant it was easy for defenders to take the ball away. Not very realistic. Now I can face up that defender. A lot more realistic, gives me a lot more opportunity to go around the defenders themselves. The other sort of key here is we've done a lot of work to make this contextual so that everyone gets to feel it. So it's all done on the left stick. If you want complete control, you can have it as well, because you can use the trigger buttons to bring it in at any time. So massive changes within our game, to really change the way the gameplay works, and then obviously a lot of features on top of that we started to talk about today as well.
So, I mean, for me, FIFA's usually gone through like a 2-year cycle. The first year you bring a lot of innovations, and then you sort of reiterate on that, and then sort of you break it up the next year. But this seems like a little bit of both this year. Is that a true assessment?
Yeah, I mean, what we're really excited about is the platform that we were able to build on last year. The tactical defending and the player impact engine really changed the way we could change a lot of things within our game, and it gave us a platform to then really create this revolution of features this year, which is what we're really exciting about. That platform was there. This year we felt we could actually take it on to another level again with features. First touch control completely changes the way our game plays. It makes it so much more realistic, and just enhancing what was a piece of technology in the player impact engine and now creating features around it. So yeah, we're really excited about where the game's going this year, and just a big change yet again.
Sort of another aspect that you brought out for the last couple of years is sort of the cohesiveness of the FIFA universe. Getting in one game and sort of having a persistence there. So can you touch on how you're expanding that for this year? Yeah.
So one of the big things that we brought in again last year was what we called EA Sports Football Club. It's really the heartbeat of our game now. So we created a system where you would level up and earn XP for everything that you did within the game. We also created a news system that was connected with all your friends, so your friends could see how you were doing, how you're progressing, which really started to create much more of a social aspect to our game. What we've done this year is we wanted to make it so it felt like you were rewarded for everything that you do. So we're introducing what we're calling the EA Sports Football Club Catalogue. So when you level up, when you then earn what we call FIFA, Football Club credits, and you can now go into the catalogue and unlock things that will reward you for all different aspects of our game. So if you're a career mode fan, there's things in there for you. You can go and get an international job offer. If you're a seasons fan, you can go in there. We've got things like you can get an extra game. So it's a 10-game season. If you just need that extra point to get promotion, you can go and unlock an extra game to do that. So all these different things that reward you in all aspects of our game, which is incredibly exciting. There'll also be a carryover of the level that you had in FIFA 12 will carry over into FIFA 13.
All right. So one of the interesting things about FIFA is because basically you're a platform now, because Ultimate Team is basically earning as much money as another title on its own. So how do you sort of how does that change development when that's sort of exploded over the last few years? Is that something that you have to keep in mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we want to do is provide, number one, it has to be a great game. Ultimately, gameplay is king, and you make great gameplay. And as we've already talked about, we feel we've done, FIFA 13 has really gone to another level in that area. But now it's about, keeping people engaged, keeping people playing our game in many different ways. So Ultimate Team is a great way of doing that. Career mode with internationals this year is just making that there's more longevity in there. Seasons was our most popular mode last year. The fact that we broke it up into 10-game chunks has kept people playing. The ability to get promoted. So really, what we want is to keep people engaged. We announced yesterday the brand new Match Day feature, which actually gives regular updates to our database in form, in injuries, suspensions, who's playing, on a regular basis. And then the other key to that is the fact that it'll also be reflected in commentary. So all the big stories will actually be brought out within the commentary. And what we really wanted was, we know that, people will be talking about football, maybe down the pub, in a bar, talk about football. They come home, play FIFA, they play our kickoff mode. We want them our game to reflect what they're talking about. So, it feels very relevant. So, like the demo we're showing here is the fact that it'll talk about league position for the different teams. It'll talk about whether teams are on form. It'll talk about how many goals the top scorer's got in different relevant situations in the major leagues. And it's really keeping that game feeling like, it's really up to date with the heartbeat of football. Everything we try and do is around that. The heartbeat of FIFA is football clubs. So really keeping people engaged.
So will you be pushing content every day into the game then, or how does it work?
Ultimately the data will be doing regular updates. And I think you'll be seeing those, but as in daily, we'll see. But they'll be regular.
Across all platforms, there's no differences.
No, all the major sort of for FIFA 13 on what we call the HD platforms. So PS3, 360, and PC.
Yeah. You did show off a little bit of move functionality, and of course you got some Connect functionality. Can you talk about like the platform-specific stuff?
So we're really excited to bring new elements to our game. So firstly with Connect, obviously it's allowing you to use your voice, which really enhances our experience in terms of you not having to pause the game to make substitutions. You can do tactical changes just through your voice. So we're really excited about that. And then the other side, obviously, with the Move, it's a great piece of hardware, and it gives you a slightly different experience. We created a Move mode, so you can actually fully play the game using the Move. We've got the painting of runs, which is another enhancement, just using that piece of hardware in terms of actually you can paint runs and change the way that some of the defending mechanics works as well. So we're really excited about how that's fitted into our game.
Some other new things is the skill games that you're adding. Because to me, I mean, that sort of element has sort of been in there, but perhaps not as expressed or as like meaningful as it is now. Could you?
So we wanted, we brought in tutorials last year. We obviously changed tactical defending, completely changed the defending mechanics. So last year we had some of the defending tutorials in there, and kind of some of the feedback we had, and we looked at it ourselves was, well, what about all aspects of the game? How do we make sure that people that are new to our game understand all the core mechanics? Because there's so much in our game. And what this actually came out of was the impact engine was giving us the ability to use physics. We can have objects in our world that then actually allows us to make these things fun. So we looked at this and said, okay, well, can we create fun elements that will teach people the basics within our game? Yeah, we can do that. But actually, how about we also make it progressive so that we actually create easy things that start off easy to talk you the basics, but layer on the different mechanics in our game that maybe become a little bit for experts, so everyone gets to learn everything. So there's the basic understanding, and then it gets progressively more challenging and more fun and rewarding, and then we've got the skill challenge in every category, which is all about, it's tough, you know, ultimately, and it's created this great new game mode that we're incredibly excited about. You know, first off, it's in the arena as you go in and loading the game, which ultimately, you know, learning as the game's loading, and then we created this whole new skill game mode, which we're very, very excited about.
Perhaps it can help players who have been away for a couple of games, because I feel that if you've been away for a year, there's so many things that you missed out on learning.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. And I think the one thing for us was we didn't want to just do it as a tutorial, because we know a lot of our users just go skip them. So if you can create a competitive, fun element to it, it's going to keep people trying it. And, you know, doing it in a fun way, you're learning new things, which will only enhance your FIFA playing experience.
So you don't consider the PS Vita version an HD version, but it's pretty close to the console versions, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just here to talk about the HD versions. So, you know,
is it a separate team, or?
It is a different team. So, you know, ultimately, I'll let those guys talk about Vita.
All right. So I guess we're getting FIFA 13 around the same time as every year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we announced the date yet, but it'll be coming soon.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right.